Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and in this one, I'm going to give you 4 reasons I stayed in Sweden. Let's get into it. Okay, number 1 has to be just work-life balance in general. When I look back at the times I was in the United States, in university, when I was working, I constantly felt stressed. I constantly felt like under pressure all the time. And my last job before coming to Sweden, I was working between 52 to 55 hours a week as a car salesman. I had an education degree, but I wanted to try it because my father works in sales, and it just was rough because you would like work I would work 9 in the morning to 9 at night. I didn't have time to cook really. I was always eating out at fast food restaurants like for lunch and for dinner because, like I said, I was just so wiped out by the time I got home, and that wasn't really good for my body. I was drinking a lot of coffee to get through the day and then not sleeping at night. And it just, over time, I just got super stressed. Plus, it was just a stressful work environment to be in. It was a lot of fun, but it's a different kind of work environment because if you mess up, you're going to get mother effed. That's what I'm going to say, but I really had fun working there, and that's just the way I think the car business is. Okay, number 2, the benefits that you get here in Sweden and where your taxes go. So what I mean by this is, one thing I really like about Sweden is just, I feel like my taxes go to something. I feel like it goes to like help people. And I also feel like if I get in a rough spot, I'm going to help people as well. And not all Americans, but some Americans have this feeling that like if you need help from the government and you're like on unemployment, you're like a mooch or you're unmotivated. And I really don't feel like that's a fair opinion to have because there's a lot of jobs that are leaving the United States. There's a lot of people that maybe the skill they have isn't needed anymore, or some people don't have the skill. And yeah, I just have the feeling that people go through tough times and nobody wants to be on unemployment. No one wants to sit around and do nothing. That's no way to live. That has to feel horrible. And I like that. I feel like, okay, you're going to get some help. I also like that you don't, if I have kids here someday or something, they're not going to have to stress about education, as far as going to university and things like that. Although I do value my American education, and I do think that Americans do well internationally because of it. But I think the Swedish education system is good as well. So, but that's just my personal opinion on this. Number 3 has to be, I just feel more culturally Swedish. Like if you would meet me in real life, I'm like a Swede, but my Swedish isn't perfect. And I felt like I was a little bit of a Swede before because I never really felt like completely fitting in the United States. I was usually somebody that felt that we needed to do more to kind of help people. But I'll say this, and this is no insult to Americans in any way. I'm not saying this because Americans are so many different groups of people, but I find Swedes to be like super open-minded, which I really like. I think Swedes apply logic to a lot of things, which I really like. And I see that like Swedes aren't really cold as much as they're just shy and reserved. And a lot of times I'm shy and reserved as well. So it kind of fits as well. And also, if you have a little bit of social anxiety or something like that, this is the country to come to because you can get by on many things without even talking to people. But I love the technological advances here in Sweden. I love things like Swish and just how easy it works. And just culturally, I just love that in a lot of cases you care about people. I'll give you an example. So if you're having a bad day and someone goes, hey, how do you feel today? In Sweden, you're going to say, I'm having a bad day. In the States, you're going to say, I'm great. How are you? And although it still comes across a little bit weird to me culturally when people tell me when they're having a bad day, I do feel like that's like a much healthier approach because in a lot of cases, you're just going to sit at home and just be in your own head and feel bad, and it's not going to go so well. Okay, the next one, or the last one, this is either number 4 or number 5. I forgot, my bad. We'll figure it out though. Has to be that my story's not over here yet. And what I mean by you is I came to Sweden with this attitude. There's this artist named James Taylor who got a record with the Beatles. He was an American, he got discovered in England. And that was one of my inspirations of coming here. I didn't know if I wanted to be a musician or an entertainer, but I've always been like a super creative person. It's just creativity just lives in me. And if I can't be creative, I get in a bad space. I constantly need to create. So I want to be successful doing this. I want to be, whether it's being an entertainer in Sweden, whether it being someday, I don't know, starting my own business or something like that. I want to make it in Sweden. I want to be a success story. And I feel like I'm just on the cusp of making it, whether that's on YouTube, or on TikTok, or just in my professional development or life, I'm almost there. And I don't want to give up because I feel like my story's not over yet. And if I ever go back to the States, I want to go back knowing that I did everything that I possibly could do in Sweden. And it's tough. It's hard work. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys that, like, I'm sure this has been a difficult year for everybody. This has been an extremely difficult year for me for so many factors and reasons. There's been a lot of things behind the scene in my life that I had to deal with. I had a lot of bad luck. Like, I got hit with a lot of bad luck at like 3, 4 things all at once. You know, I was one of the people impacted by COVID. I got COVID twice. And the second time I got it, I definitely got in a little bit of a funk afterwards. And I'm working my way through that. And then it's just been tough. It's tough to keep going with YouTube because you're not sure if it's going to be successful. And there's other things I could do. I could work like a second job instead of this. And like I said, maybe it's been a little bit tough. I'm not somebody that gives up or quits. So I'm kind of at this phase now where I'm just like pushing through as hard as I can. I refuse to fail. Like, I'm a runner, right? So I feel like I'm on mile 20, like just ready to come to the end. And although it's not been easy, like, that's just the way it is, you know, to accomplish anything, I just feel like it should be hard. And I think in a lot of times in life, the struggle is what brings you happiness. So I'm really just in this struggle part right now and pushing through, but it's going to be so much more rewarding. So my story's not over. Let's crush it here in Sweden. Thank you for your support, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Hej då!